Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. And if you are just tuning in with me for the very first time, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm really glad you're here with me today. I am your host, Heather Carey, nutritionist, chef, mom, and a woman who has been around the block with food. I want to open up about real food in relation to health, weight, and our bodies so you can make peace with what you eat. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Real Food Stories podcast. How are you? Did you make it through that crazy month of holiday fever? Boy, it was a doozy, not gonna lie. Was it because Thanksgiving was so close to all the holidays this year? They just seemed to flow right into each other, and having Hanukkah overlap with Christmas, it was a lot of fun and exhausting all at the same time. In any event, happy New Year to you. This is a hard week, not gonna lie, getting back on track after a month of celebrations. I hope that you can take a deep breath and just ease into the week and give yourself a break. No need to get crazy with big changes and resolutions just yet. So today, in the spirit of easing in, we're flipping the script on the typical New Year's talk. And I've been giving this a lot of thought because as a nutrition coach and someone who is literally in the business of helping people succeed at their health and fitness goals, this time of year is on my mind a lot because I know that it is on your mind too. This year, though, we are focusing on something different, the possibilities. What lights you up, what feels exciting, and what makes your life feel more joyful. So instead of rigid resolutions, I want to explore how we can design a year we actually want to live, one that feels inspiring, aligned, and achievable. All right, let's talk about resolutions for a second. You know the drill. January rolls around and suddenly everyone feels the pressure to fix themselves. Lose weight, go to the gym every day, quit sugar, save more money, wake up at 5 a.m., It's like we all collectively decided we weren't good enough just the way we are. But here's the truth. Resolutions are broken by design. They're often vague, they're overly ambitious, or tied to things we don't even really care about, just things we think we're supposed to care about. And here's a fun fact for you. About 90% of resolutions fail by February. Why is that? Because resolutions are like putting a Band-Aid on a much bigger mindset issue. They're reactive, not intentional. Let me give you an example. How many times have you set a resolution like, I'm going to eat healthier this year? Sounds good, right? But what does that actually mean? Are you cutting out fast food? Are you cooking at home every night? Are you eating more vegetables? It's so vague that there's no real plan. And when there's no plan, there's no follow through. Then by February, life happens, you get busy, you get stressed, or just plain tired. It's February, it's dark. And suddenly that eat healthier resolution feels like a distant memory. But it's not just the lack of clarity that trips us up. Resolutions also fail because they're often rooted in guilt or shame. They're born out of a place of not enoughness. I need to be skinnier. I need to be healthier, more productive. And don't get me started about the pressure that women in midlife feel at this time about aging and making sure that we look a certain way. But when we start from that place, we're already setting ourselves up to fail. Think about it. How motivated do you feel when you're focused on all the ways you're falling short? Here's where I want to flip the script. Instead of resolutions, I like to think about the new year as an opportunity to explore possibilities. Doesn't that sound so much more inviting than the word resolution? Resolutions are about fixing what's wrong. Possibilities are about leaning into what's right, what excites you, what brings you joy, what feels meaningful to you. I've seen this shift in my own life and with my clients. When we focus on possibilities, we're not forcing ourselves into a rigid box. We're creating space to grow and experiment in ways that actually fit our lives. For example, instead of saying, I need to go to the gym every day, what if you asked yourself, what's a movement practice that I could actually love, that I enjoy, that I feel curious about? Or instead of, I need to eat less sugar, what about exploring how to cook meals that nourish you and make you feel good? Resolutions are about pressure. Possibilities are about curiosity. And curiosity, that's where real change begins. So I hope that you can see that resolutions are probably not going to work in your future. Let's count those out. So what is in? Let me introduce you to what I like to call the possibilities mindset. This isn't about checking boxes or achieving perfection. It's just about getting curious. It's about asking yourself, what would make this year feel exciting? What's something I've always wanted to explore? The possibilities mindset isn't rigid. It's open-ended and playful. Instead of focusing on what you think you should do, it's about discovering what lights you up and makes you feel like your best self. And let me tell you, when you frame your year this way, it's a total game changer. Here's how it works. Start by thinking about your life as it is right now. What's calling for your attention? It might be something big, like improving your health, or something smaller, like finding the time to relax or reconnect with hobbies that you love. The key here is curiosity. Lean into what excites you or feels meaningful, not what society is telling you to prioritize. For me, I've realized that I have been craving more quiet. Life feels so noisy sometimes. Between social media, excessive emails, and all the busyness, I've been longing for a reset. That's why one of my 2025 possibilities is limiting my time on social media. I've set specific app timers and even decided that mornings and evenings are for real life, not scrolling. It's a small shift, but it feels so freeing already. You know what that feels like to get on Instagram and suddenly 45 minutes has gone by and you don't even know what you have accomplished. That's how I've been feeling. So I am going to make a very intentional shift away from social media this year. Another possibility I'm stepping into this year is rediscovering my love of books and reading. I used to read all the time. This was my number one hobby. And somewhere along the way, I let that habit slip. Hello, social media and Instagram. So this year, I just joined a book club. And now I have to read because I want to show up prepared. It's like I created built-in accountability for something I actually enjoy. And so far, we've had our first book club meeting, and it's a great way to just stay on task with books. And I'm having a great time. And then there's my body. This year, I am focusing on feeling strong and capable. I've joined a gym and started working with a personal trainer, not because I feel like I have to, but because I want to challenge myself in a way that feels exciting. The possibilities mindset shifts the focus from external expectations to internal desires. It's not about what the world says you should do. It's about what feels right to you. Maybe your possibility is finally starting that creative project you've been dreaming about. Or maybe it's something as simple as committing to one walk a day to clear your mind. The beauty of possibilities is that there's no pressure to get it right. You're just experimenting, you're exploring, and opening yourself up to growth. And guess what? That's where real, lasting change happens, not from a place of guilt, but from a place of curiosity and joy. So, what possibilities are calling to you this year? What feels exciting, meaningful, or even a little bit scary, but in a good way? Give that some thought. I would love to hear from you. If you ever want to just reach out to me and send me an email, I would really love to know what your possibilities are for this year. All right, so you're feeling inspired by the possibilities mindset, but how do you take that inspiration and turn it into something tangible? This is where designing your year comes in. It's not about creating a rigid do or die plan. It's about setting up your year in a way that feels purposeful and doable. Here's how I approach it. First step, start with curiosity. Ask yourself, and take some time to do this, get a notebook, give yourself a few minutes just to be alone in some quiet, and ask yourself, what would make this year feel amazing for me? Notice I didn't say perfect or productive. This is about what excites you. Maybe it's reconnecting with those old hobbies, exploring a new fitness routine, or even creating more time just to be. Okay, step 2. Let's get specific and practical. The next step is to get clear on what you're actually going to do. Vague goals like eat healthier or exercise more are a recipe for frustration. Trust me, I have been there. I know this. Instead, think about actions you can measure and build into your routine. Take my goal of moving my body more this year. I didn't just say, I want to work out. Instead, I joined a gym and booked sessions with a personal trainer. I also blocked time on my calendar for workouts, just like I would for any other appointment. Having that structure makes it so much easier to stay consistent. And honestly, it feels exciting to see progress, even in small ways. I've been feeling great about myself, just showing up to the gym. I've been an at-home gym person for years, probably since COVID. And just showing up at the gym feels really good, something I can sort of check off my list. The next step you want to do is to build in accountability. Accountability is like the secret sauce of goal setting. Without it, it's easy to let things slide. That's why I've set app timers on my phone to help me limit my social media. I even told a friend about my plan so they can check in on me. It's not about pressure. It's about creating gentle reminders to keep me on track. For you, accountability might mean sharing your goals with a friend, or joining the gym with a friend, or even just writing them down somewhere that you'll see them every single day. The refrigerator, tacking things up on the refrigerator is never a bad idea. You have to open that thing every single day. And the final step, start small and adjust as you go. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to tackle everything at once. Big changes come from small, consistent, tiny steps. If you want to move more, start with a short daily walk. If you're trying to cook more, start with one new recipe a week. The point is to build momentum, not burnout. Don't get yourself overwhelmed. And here's the best part. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. Just take the first step. Designing your year is a process. As life changes, your priorities might shift, and that's totally fine. The key is to stay curious and keep moving towards the things that matter most to you. So what's one small specific step you can take this week to start designing your year? Maybe it's signing up for that class you've been eyeing or scheduling time to brainstorm your own possibilities. Whatever it is, start where you are and let the rest unfold. All right, let's talk about the shoulds. You know the ones. I should lose weight. I should exercise. I should eat better. These are the phrases we've all said to ourselves at some point, usually with a side of guilt and a sprinkle of self-judgment. But here's the thing. The shoulds are sneaky little joy stealers. They're rooted in external pressures, what society, social media, or even your own inner critic says we should do to be better. And when we approach our year from that place, it's not empowering, it's exhausting. So let's take fitness, for example. For years, I used to think I should go to the gym more, but every time I framed it that way, it felt like a chore. I'd start strong for a week or two, then miss a session. I'd feel guilty and spiral into the why bother mindset. Does it sound familiar? What changed for me was shifting the narrative from should to want. Instead of I should go to the gym, I started asking what kind of movement would make me feel strong and energized. That's when I realized I didn't want to punish myself with workouts. I wanted to build strength and feel good in my body. And this year, like I've said, I've joined the gym again and I am working with a personal trainer, not because I should, but because I want to. The same goes for food. The shoulds say things like, I shouldn't eat that dessert, or I should cut out carbs. But what happens? You either feel deprived, you might end up binging later, or end up in that endless cycle of guilt. Instead of following those rules, I like to think about how food can nourish me physically, emotionally, and even socially. Here's what I want you to remember. The shoulds are usually loud, demanding, and rigid. Possibilities, on the other hand, are quiet, they're open, they're kind. They don't demand perfection. They invite you to explore. Let's reframe the shoulds together. Instead of saying, I should eat healthier, let's try, I want to explore meals that make me feel energized and satisfied. Instead of saying, I should lose weight, becomes, I want to feel strong, confident, and capable in my body. And another, I should be more productive, turns into, I want to create space for things that truly matter to me. When we let go of the shoulds, we create room for goals and habits that feel authentic, exciting, and sustainable. And here's the kicker. You're more likely to stick with them because they come from a place of desire instead of obligation. So what's one should you can let go of this year? What's one possibility you can replace it with? Maybe you'll realize you don't need to overhaul your whole life. You just need to realign with what makes you feel alive and good. All right, now it's your turn. We've talked about leaving resolutions behind, embracing a possibilities mindset, designing your year, and letting go of the shoulds. So here's the big question. What possibilities are calling to you this year? Take a moment to think about it. What would make 2025 feel meaningful, exciting, or just plain fun? It doesn't have to be a huge life-changing goal. Sometimes the most impactful changes come from the simplest shifts, like saying yes to a new hobby, carving out time to rest, or even just being more present with the people you love. Here's a little exercise to get you started. Imagine it's December of 2025. A whole year from now, you're sitting down to reflect on the year. What are you proud of? What brought you the most joy? What's something you said yes to that made your life better? Once you have an idea, write it down and then ask yourself, what's the first step I can take to move towards that possibility? It could be just signing up for that class, scheduling time in your calendar, or even telling someone about your plan to hold yourself accountable. For me, going back to my possibilities for this year and reading more books, I joined a book club. I said yes to the book club. I didn't really know who's in it. I don't know the books, but I just simply said yes. The other possibility is building strength and confidence in my body. My first step, I scheduled a session with a personal trainer. These are small actions, but they're setting the foundation for a year that I'm excited to live. And remember, you don't have to map out the entire year right now. Start small. Start where you are and let your journey unfold from there. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward embracing possibilities in 2025. Your time and attention mean the world to me, and I'm grateful to have you as part of this community. To recap, today we explored how to shift from rigid resolutions to a mindset brimming with possibilities. We discussed designing a year that aligns with your passions, letting go of the shoulds, and taking intentional steps towards a fulfilling life. I'd love to hear about the possibilities you're excited to explore this year. Share your thoughts and goals with me on social media, on Facebook, I'll have the link below in the show notes, or just send me a message through email. Also, link in the show notes. Your stories inspire me so much and our entire community. If you found value in today's episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing this podcast with someone who might benefit from a fresh perspective on the new year. Your support helps us reach more listeners and grow our community. So remember, 2025 is a blank canvas. That's exciting. It's filled with endless possibilities. Approach it with curiosity, embrace what excites you, and design a year that truly reflects who you are. Until next time, take care and keep exploring those possibilities. Bye for now. Are you ready to turn your 2025 possibilities into reality? Let's make it happen together. I'm offering a free 30-minute discovery call where you'll explore your goals and design a personalized plan to kickstart your journey. Don't wait. Schedule your sessions today at the link in the show notes or reach out to me at heather@heathercarey.com. Let's embrace the possibilities and make this your best year yet. And as always, if you loved this podcast, please consider gifting me with a 5-star review. It is so helpful for me to get the word out on real eating, our real bodies, and real food stories. Thank you so much and have a great week. Bye for now.